Oh, there are four things in the world that hurt the most in life, and that's heartbreak, childbirth, getting kicked in the balls, and being a Manchester United fan. Welcome back to Red Devils TV, the realest channel on YouTube. And do we even celebrate this result? Because how can we be 3-0 up against a championship team? That was what is expected. If Manchester United go on to win that game 3-0, it's what's expected of us. You know, it's only Coventry, blah, 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 blah. But the Cinderella story almost came true. It was practically done. Coventry went 4-3 up in the last kick of the game, but literally due to whichever Coventry players having too big of a feet. If he was a couple shoe sizes smaller, that's on the side. But at the end of the day, I don't know how to feel. I've gone through up and down with all this emotion. You know, let's just dissect and talk about the first half of Manchester United, because I felt like we were brilliant. That first goal for Scott McTominay's goal was absolutely brilliant. Dalot was shifting into midfield for the majority of the first half, almost making a 3-2-5 formation. We've talked about Ten Hag's system on this channel. When Ten Hag is comfortable and we've got the players available, we're facing the right opposition, that's the formation Ten Hag wants to play. A strong back three, the right back coming into midfield to help make a double pivot, and then having an attack of 5 players. And people say Erik Ten Hag's got no style of play. That's the style he wants to play. But unfortunately, we don't have the players to play that in the Premier League, which sounds ridiculous because a majority of these signings are Erik Ten Hag signings. And I'm hoping, if he does stay, that under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, there is this rule about how FSG and Liverpool do their negotiations for business and for transfers, where the manager gets no say, and the scouts, these top scouts who apparently we're going to be bringing in, and we make the signings. And then Ten Hag gets to say whether he wants that player or not. But Ten Hag will give a list of positions, and then the club will go and find them type of players and the players that are the right fit for Erik Ten Hag's system. But the first goal, absolutely brilliant. Dalot with the set piece. Erik Ten Hag quickly goes and talks to him whilst he's on the set piece. McTominay starts it. It goes out to Garnacho. Dalot starts running on the overlap, and Dalot with an easy first time cross, McTominay slots it in. That was a brilliant piece of play. It was fast, it was high tempo, and that's what we want to be seeing from Erik Ten Hag football. The second goal, Harry Maguire scores from a corner. Absolutely brilliant. I've complained about this for so many seasons now, that Bruno Fernandes, with what he does on corners, he doesn't actually do in-swinging footballs. He does like a floating over-the-top ball where it falls down onto the head instead of swinging, so we can get power on it. If anyone's ever played football and you've taken corners, you know that's the difference between a normal header where you head it like a balloon, or if you want to get power on the shot, the cross is what matters, or the ball over the top, whatever it matters, but the direction of the ball is what matters. And that's why Harry Maguire got so much power on that header, because it was a great cross by Bruno Fernandes, and we need to start doing that more on our set pieces because we are so ineffective on set pieces. But anyway, I need to say respect to Coventry, because at the end of the day, they almost made the miracle come true, and they must be devastated. I know there's all laugh and jokes and stuff, but for a championship team to come over and do this at Wembley is absolutely incredible. Now, I'm going to sit here and talk about Man United like I'm Billy Big Bollocks. We're really not. Manchester United made hard work of another performance yet again today, and it's poor. But I don't think any Coventry City fan can come away with that from that and feel, no, you know what, no, they will feel gutted. I was going to say they can't say it wasn't expected, but at the end of the day, I do feel for Coventry, because they were brilliant today. Well, brilliant for the last 25 minutes and extra time, shall we say. Because Man United controlled the game for the first 65 to 70 minutes. But then Erik Ten Hag took off Alejandro Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo a few minutes later. Now, this is where I want to say this is not on Erik Ten Hag. Because if you're a manager who's 3-0 up against a championship side, any manager in the Premier League would have done what Ten Hag had done. He would have rested players for our midweek game against Sheffield United. If any manager's in this position, they will do this. They'll start making substitutions because you're 3-0 up. You should be able to trust your substitutions and the rest of your squad that they can see out the game. You might concede a goal, but at the end of the day, making the substitution is what matters, and you want to get some fresh legs on. And what did Manchester United do? We lost Garnacho and Mainu, and we bottle it. And all of a sudden, it's 3-3. The penalty, by the way, is an absolute disgrace. Their last penalty, I am fuming about. It was not a penalty on Wan-Bissaka, because if you look at literally yesterday's performance against Chelsea versus Manchester City, if Jack Grealish's handball was not a penalty, then it's the same for Man United, and that almost cost us due to another dodgy VAR decision. And the stats, Rob Dawson tweeted it before, that Garnacho and Mainu have both been taken off in moments in the game, and that is against Liverpool in the league, against Chelsea, and against, who was the other one? What they called, I can't remember their team now, but there's been multiple occasions this season over the last few months where Eric Ten Hag has took off Garnacho and Mainu because the youth players, we're not supposed to be relying on them. We shouldn't be relying on them to play the full 90 minutes. You should be allowed to take them players off and have more senior players come on and do a job for 20 to 30 minutes. But when them players get taken off, we automatically become worse. And you see Alejandro Garnacho walking off, muttering things to himself. I'd be pissed off too. If you're seeing Marcus Rashford doing fuck all for 90 odd minutes and 70 odd minutes, and you're getting taken off when you've been one of the most dangerous forwards on the pitch but have hardly received the ball at any moment, but every time you have received the ball you create something, or something amazing happens, or we win a corner. Garnacho has every right to be pissed off, and I'm actually now very concerned about will Alejandro Garnacho throw in a transfer request, because Rashford should be sold. I'm going to say it now. I've been saying it for months. I've wanted him to stay, and I've wanted him to do well, and I've wanted him to get his form back. But his performances today are inexcusable. I really hope that his hamstring is done, because when he was limping off, I personally believe he's faking the injury, because that's the type of person Rashford has made himself to appear as throughout the season. Rashford has been an absolute disgrace, and I really hope he's actually injured. Not because I want him to be injured, but I want it to be an injury, because if he's faking an injury because he can't be asked to play an extra 30 odd minutes for extra time and then take your homeboy team to penalties, if it ever comes to that, then you should be taken off. And this is why the mental attitude of Rashford has been questioned all season long. How can you go from having a sensational season like you did last season, getting 41 goal contributions, and perform like you've done this season? The drop-off, it's just been a fall from grace. It's absolutely embarrassing. But speaking of my man of the matches, Dalot and Maguire deserve so much praise. They were absolutely amazing today. Maguire showed his leadership, and Dalot, for me, is the reason why he's going to be player of the season. He is absolutely sensational today, and I absolutely love it how the players who scored the first two goals were Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire. The redemption they've had this season to prove to be Manchester United players is amazing. Yes, I still consider them as squad players, but they have the right mentality. No one can question their mentality, because it doesn't matter whether they're starting for Manchester United or on the bench for Manchester United. You know, when they play for Manchester United, they will always give 110% effort, and that's where you cannot discredit them when you've still got players like Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, other players who keep bottling it week in, week out. Casemiro almost lost us the actual game, going down the middle in the first penalty. I saw that coming off a mile away. I said to my granddad, who was watching the game with, Betty Casemiro goes down the middle. And he did. And the goalkeeper read him like a book, because that's exactly what he did. He saved it. It was right at the keeper. Good save. But thankfully, Coventry bottled it on penalties. And this is why I'm not ecstatic with excitement, because it's Coventry. We shouldn't have had to be in this position in the first place. It should have been 3-0, maybe even push for a fourth, get the job done, simple as. Amad Diallo, another bad substitution by Eric Ten Hag. I will say that Ten Hag's substitutions were poor today. He should have took off Bruno Fernandes, or he should have took off Rashford a lot sooner than what he did. Bruno's played for the full game, and Rashford went off in extra time due to a possible injury, let's say. But on to Sheffield United. That's all we can say now. An actual Premier League team that will be playing the Championship next season. So will Man United make hard work of that? Most likely because United seem to make hard work of everything at the moment. But it's at Old Trafford. Hopefully the fatigue of the players isn't tarnished too much, and hopefully we make it actually easier for ourselves, because there's no 120 minutes in the Premier League and there's no extra time penalties. We need to get the job done, and if Rashford is injured, well, if he's gone off with a hamstring pull, whether it's just a knock or a caution, you don't play him, because we have had 60 injuries / illnesses throughout the season that's made players unavailable for Manchester United. Willie Cambuala, Amrabat and Mason Mount were added to today's injury list because they weren't available for today's game. We had 5 youth players on the bench today, and it's, how can people say Ten Hag out when he's hardly had his full squad all season long? I'm sick to death of it, but you know me, if you made it this far into the video, you know I'll back Ten Hag till the very end, because I have loyalty towards this manager. I have loyalty towards this football club. The only loyalty I won't show is if Man United appoints to Gareth Southgate, because I will not watch Manchester United. I'm pretty sure my girlfriend would love that, so not watching Manchester United, because my stress levels go through the roof when I watch Manchester United, especially today. But thank you for watching. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.